Right, this is my little Suzuki Jimny. It's a 1.3 petrol engine. It's got the M13 engine, so it hasn't got any cam belts. It's got a timing chain, so that's one thing we don't have to do today. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to service this. We're going to give it an engine service. It hasn't been done for about 18 months or so. This car was originally my dad's car. I got it when he passed away. I inherited it when he passed away, and he had it from when it was nearly new. It's done about 60,000 miles, and it's a really nice little car. Now what we've got up to now to service it with is we've got air filter, oil and new spark plugs. I'm going to check the antifreeze, and I'm going to also change the cabin filter. Now, there's a story with this cabin filter, because I decided that I was going to go to Euro car parts to buy the cabin filter and the plugs. Now, the price they gave me for a Bosch cabin filter was over £75. I challenged this, and when I picked myself up off the floor, I challenged this, and the fella said, well, you're quite insulting really. He said, well, if you buy a cheap little car, that's what you get. You know, cheap to buy, dear to maintain. And I said, well, it's not a cheap car, it's just a little car. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap. And they're really well thought of. And I've looked after this car, so why is it 75 quid? And he says, well, that's it. He said, the £75, you can get a cheap one for £38. He said, but they're not, you know, it's up to you. So what I did was, went on the internet, and you can buy a cabin air filter for like 20 quid, 25 quid. And what I've done is I've ordered one from My Motor World, which is a company which all over the internet at the moment, and I think it's fronted by Mike Brewer from the car show on the telly, and you know, whether he owns it or not, I don't really know, but if he's making a profit, it's under £25, and if you join it, he's got a little membership thing where you can join it. You can get it for 23 quid, next day delivery. So up you, Euro car parts, and you're making an extra £50 on top of what my car parts are making. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway, that's my first rant on YouTube. First one, and I think it's a pretty good one. Okay, well, here's the engine compartment. We've got spark plugs underneath here. We've got the air filter box. The oil filter is down the right hand side of the engine, down the bottom, down there. Obviously the plugs underneath in the sump. And the first thing to do is to remove this cover here, which has got 4 8mm bolts in it on the top. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. when you've removed that cover, that exposes all the gubbins and the access to the spark plugs. You've got 4 spark plugs. You've got these 2 here. Now you need to be really careful removing them because they're quite stiff and they pull up like so. That one's got a bit of damage on the top there. Now this one here, these here undo. They've got 2 nuts here that undo. 2 10mm bolts. I've loosened them. And then that pulls directly up and you can get at your spark plug then. You need to try and gently tease these out because it hasn't been done for a while. They don't want to come out, so I'm going to need 2 hands. But basically you pull them out, tease them out, get them to one side, and then you can get these out and access to the spark plugs. So I'll put you back on the there on the tripod. Okay, so that's the HT leads out and the electrical components. Now what we need to do now is we need to get a spark plug spanner on an extension and get down into the spark plugs and get them out, get them removed. So I'll go and get a spanner. Right, we're going to remove the spark plugs now, or we're going to try and remove the spark plugs. Hopefully they're not going to be too tight, they're going to come out okay. 16mm spark plug socket, and if you have to set the spark plugs, it's 0.8 of a millimetre on the feeler gauge. So let's see just make sure when you use your spark plug that you've got a good rubber inside that gets a decent grip of the spark plug. This is a Halford socket, this one. Right, that's the first one. It looks like it's been burning okay. It's fairly typical of a used spark plug. You can see the tip's a bit kaput. It's not much of the tip left. So So it's about right time to change them by the looks of things. These might even be the original ones. NGK spark plugs to be taken out. So you can see when you look at these, you can see the difference between them. There they are. See, they'll focus, there we go. You can see the one on the left, the used one, the tip is practically burnt out. Now my dad always got this car serviced by a local garage, so I doubt that those spark plugs have been changed recently. You know, if at all, since new. They're almost completely burnt out, so this is going to make, just them spark plugs alone should make an amazing difference to the way the car runs. Okay. I'll just check the gap on it. It's just a bit slack in actual fact. I think they're a bit too slack, so what I'll do is give them a bit of adjusting. Perfect. Okay, so they're perfect now. Put the socket back into the spark plug socket. Put the spark plug back into the spark plug socket. Now you want to start them off by hand, so lower it in carefully. Twist it. A good way to start a thread is to turn it backwards a little bit until you feel a little the first thread click its place and then go forwards. You want to get these nipped up hand side first so you don't cross them. I'm just going to nip it up. Right, the torque wrench setting for the spark plugs is 25 Newton meters. So I've got a little Bergen torque wrench here. Unfortunately, it's only quarter drive, so you need to get the back. Let's see. Right, that's torque to 25 Newton meters. It's an alloy head and it just seemed to be a little bit tight. That's why I lowered it down to about 22, 23 first and then worked my way up, because I got the impression it was just going too tight. But obviously it isn't. But you need nerves of steel one, because you don't want to strip the thread. If you strip the thread on it, it's cream crackered, it's knackered. So let's do the next one. I would suggest that whoever's been servicing this car has never took these plugs out. I would suspect that these are original. It's only done about, I'll just check the mileage. This car has done 61,000 miles, and I know for certain that my dad got it serviced regularly. He put it in and he paid good money to get it serviced. I haven't, because it took me a long while to actually even get in the car after my dad passed away. But I decided that I was going to keep it and look after it. But doing that now, I mean, why wouldn't you change the plugs? It's only done, it's, you know, it's 16 years old, this car. I've done about 10,000 miles in it since I got it, if that. And well, there you go. You would believe, but I don't think those plugs have been changed. It doesn't look like they've been changed since it was new. You know, within, not in recent history anyway. Right, let's see if we can get the next one out. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's put this one in first. So careful, that aluminium head, that you just do not want to strip it. You don't want to cross it or strip it. So always make sure that you start them off by hand. Plug spanner's sticking. I'll have to see if I've got a different right. One of those wobble extensions, it's a bit loose. Right, what I've decided to do, I've decided to put some anti-seize on these copper grease. Just a little bit on these plugs because they're a little bit tight going into the block. And the similar metals, you know, in time to come, they're stiff now, but I think we're being a bit lucky here. They're actually coming out because it looks like they haven't, as I said before, you know, they haven't really been out in a long while. So, get these gloves on. I'll take the two out that I've already put in. Hopefully they'll come out. And put some anti-seize on because I'm getting really nervous tightening them up to the torque, the recommended torque, which is 25 Newton meters. It just seems a bit too risky. So I'm going to take the two out that I've put in first and put some anti-seize on. Now it's a lot easier than went in. just a tiny little bit on the threads. Lollipops. I've never worked on these cars before, so everything's a bit, as someone said in the comments, it was refreshing to see someone else struggling through doing a complete DIY job. Well, we're struggling through doing a DIY job, and just doing the best we can. Oops. Doing the best we can, and it's a tiny bit of how's your father on them, and the threads, just to make it a bit more user friendly when we come to do them again. Let's put it in the right hole. So to speak. Right. Okay, everyone's mixed up now, I'll just torque them up. Much easier that time. Yeah, much better. A little bit of grease makes a huge bit of difference to the socket, to the plug. It was much better tightening it up that time, much easier. So you learn, you know, being a bit lazy, not putting it on, and you learn how important it is. Get this third one out. Yeah, that one's out, so let's go. That's okay. That one's okay. Doesn't need adjusting. done. Use that one. Just need to feel very slight drag on the feeler gauge of grease. Not just a tiny little bit. To take it out, roll it out first, isn't it? Let's have that one. This is much tighter than the other ones were. Same condition as the others. Knackered. That's it. Right. Much more confident tightening them up with a bit of grease on them. Made it much, well, just settled my nerves a bit, really. Once the plug's in, now then, I'll just take you off the stand for a minute, and I'll show you the cock up that I've done. Something to be aware for, something for you to be aware of, ever you do, of anyone else doing them. Now, because this hadn't been done for so long, they were very tight, and what I've done is on the HT leads, I've damaged the top of the HT lead because I pulled it by the top, and the plastic must have been a bit perished, and it's popped a bit, come off. Now I don't know that's going to make a great deal of difference, and I'll put them on for now. But what I'll do is I'll order new HT leads and put them on. But for now, I'm just going to put it back together, see if it works. Nip these 10mm nuts off the ignition module things. I wouldn't imagine they need to be very tight, just nip them up. Also, there's little locating things, gaskets, little locating rubbers to locate the tension leads in the right place. You need to get them in the right place. Second one. So, satisfying little click there. Let's put the cover back on. A little rubber gasket that goes on this that you need to make sure is on. There we go. Just make sure that's located properly on the back. Now, I think I'll put a little bit of anti-seize on these as well. Just a little bit. Can't be any harm putting anti-seize on them, and two dissimilar metals. Get any electrolysis, I would imagine. Aluminium, steel and aluminium, you always want to locate them with your fingers or do anything. wrapped up, not too tight. There we go, it's done. Now, what I like to do, because I'm a complete amateur in this sort of thing, is I like to see at every step if the car actually starts. So I know that if it doesn't start, I know it's close to the bottom. Well, they seem to be okay. Next thing I'm going to do is the air filter. Right, new air filter. Let's see if we can get the old one off. The air filter box is situated here on the left hand side of the engine bay. 4 little clips. That seems to be straightforward with that lift off. I can just get that to one side easy. Get that to one side easy enough. Get the other one out the side there. Oh, look at that. Horrible. I think that's pretty knackered, isn't it? Right. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Right. Let's get that in there. Is it clean? Yeah, it's nice and clean in there. Doing this with one hand, struggle around a little bit. There we go. Locate that in. Put the box on. Yep. Clip that on. Done. Done. That's the plugs and the air filter. Right, next thing, oil change. I'll just give it a little start. Seems to be fine. Right, we got the sump nut off, the sump plug off. There it is. It was really tight. I had to go and get me half-inch socket, half-inch ratchet, and do it with a half-inch ratchet. The 3/8 wasn't. I couldn't get it off. Couldn't get it off with the 3/8 one. So give it a bit of a clean. Yeah, that's drained off now. Okay. Let's tighten that up. Okay, that's on. Right. Give that a wipe. Can't see anything obvious here. Okay. transferable. Looks okay under here, what I can see. And the next task is get the oil filter off. Situated down here. Like everything else, it's mega tight. Like everything else, it's mega tight. New oil filter. Wipe. Get it started. What's going on? Looks quite easy to get at, but it's tucked in behind the air conditioning pipes and between the engine mountings and the power steering bracket. And got big hands like me, it's no easy task. That's on now, hand tight. Let's get some oil in it. It's at the lower level now. So get some more oil in. Right. I don't know how much of all that you've got, but basically I've filled the engine up full of oil and I've checked my levels. Started it up, and basically the oil level now is, where are we? You can just see it there, right on the line. So that's after I've put the oil filter on and started the engine and filled the oil filter. So that's the oil change done now. New oil filter and the oil change done. So what I want to do now, it's not really critical, because I know, like last year I actually changed all the, or had all the coolant changed. So I've got a tester there. I'm just going to test my coolant. So I'll go and get a tester and do that. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to test the antifreeze now for efficiency, and basically I've got this thing, and the number of floating discs, you put some antifreeze in, and the number of floating discs tell you the effectiveness of the antifreeze. So here goes. We've got two floating discs, and the third one is falling down to there. So it's saying now that centigrade -7, sorry, -15, and Fahrenheit +5. So it's -15 centigrade, -15 below. So it's okay. Right. We're going to do this cabin filter now. Now the glove box is situated on the cabin filter. Right, we're going to do this cabin filter now. The cabin filter is situated behind the glove box on the passenger side of the vehicle. Now you need to empty your glove box and open it up. Now inside the glove box you've got these two plastic tabs there and there, one there and one there, and what you have to do is push the sides of the dashboard, the plastic, in so that you can pry it out, and then just carefully pry the thing out a little bit at a time, like so. It drops down. Now you can take it out if you want to. It's on a hinge like that. It just lifts out. It's out of the way then. Now, inside, behind the dashboard, you've got a little clip there. Now that drops down and your cabin filter is in here, in there. Now this is a little plastic clip. Like I say, I've never done this before, so I think what you're supposed to do is just pry that down like that and push it. There it goes. And then that will pull down like that. You can see all the crap that's coming out of it. Now the cabin filter's shut. Well, actually it hasn't got one in. It hasn't got a cabin filter in. Whoever's done it has just took the damn thing out. As I said, let's have a little look. Let's have a look at me head underneath and have a look. There's nothing there, there's no cabin filter in it. Bloody hell. Okay, so it hasn't got a cabin filter in it. This is the cabin filter that I've got for this. Got it, as I said earlier on in the video, I got this from my Motor World, and it was just over £23 delivered to the house. Now I live in the middle of nowhere, so you know, it came the next day, great stuff. Let's have a look what we've got inside. Nothing much to it. Basically very similar to an air filter. That's it. I'm just going to slide this up now. Inside. That should just... like that, just pops in and slides up like that. And then this cover, you see the cover, it's got a clip either side, that just relocates. Well, it's really difficult to do this with one hand, so what I'm going to do, I'll show you how to take it off, but basically I'll just put my camera on the seat, see if you can see anything. And what I'll do now is I'll just put it up. I've just got to locate it by hand there at the back, like that, and just pop that on. Right, that's it. So we've now got a cabin filter. You can see all the crud that dropped through. Just a bit of all kinds of things in there, bits of leaves and everything. Okay, so thanks whoever serviced the vehicle last. For me dad, he never even fitted a cabin filter. I'll just clean that mess up now. Job done. Right, fitting the glove box is the reverse of what we did to take it out. Basically, you have to hook the two little plastic hinges in there. Hook the two little plastic hinges in there, and then make sure they're in. Lift it up, and then what you have to do then is, I'll try, is just get that pin and just locate it like that, and the same on the other side. It's really difficult. There we go, just like that, and then just pop it in, and that's the glove box in. That's it, done. Conclusion now, that's the little Suzuki Jimny serviced, and it's ticking over nicely. We've changed the plugs, I've put new plug leads on it, and they got delivered and I just did those because I wanted to use the car. I've put a new air filter, oil and oil filter. I put new oil filter on it, checked all the levels, checked the fan belts, and I've checked the antifreeze. What I also did off camera was I just loosened the hoses. I let some water out, some coolant out, and I put some new coolant in, just to make sure the winter coming up everything's going to be okay. You know, what have I learned from this? Well, I've learned that really you should service your vehicle more often, and you know, the things what we found that the plugs have probably never been changed on this vehicle since it was new, and also there was no cabin filter in the compartments inside the vehicle. So you know, it's quite frustrating really when my dad's put this car in to be serviced from new, mostly from the start. He put it in with the Suzuki garage, and then he used a local garage. The plugs have never been changed, and the cabin filter was just missing. So, you know, I might have bungled my way through this service on the car with no practical knowledge, or virtually no practical knowledge on this vehicle. And but at least I know it's all been done. and done a lot cheaper. They were charging me dad £60 odd an hour, and you know, I'm lost for words really. Also, I've had the fun of doing it myself. I've done it myself. I've had the fun of doing it myself, and I bought a couple of new tools to do the job with, and I know it's got clean oil, clean new plugs, clean air filter. I know it's been done. Whereas before, you just trust these people, and they just seem to let you down. Now, what I've tried to do this video so that you can see all my mistakes, and literally just I've shown as much as I can. I have edited bits out where I've been walking backwards and forwards, because I mean my driveway is like 150 feet long, and you know, so my tools are one end and my car's the other. But on the whole, I've tried to fit in as much as I can, just to show you that anybody can do this. Okay, so I hope you've got something from it, even if it's only to laugh at me. And thanks very much for watching.